of Iron. I'm Jon Andersen. Meet my co-hosts, Nick Best and Akim Williams. We're going to have some amazing guests on the show. Buckle up tight, because we're going to be talking about the shit you're not supposed to be talking about. We're going to be discussing anything and everything it takes to become a Legend of Iron. Legends of Iron is brought to you by MuscleMeds. MuscleMeds is the creator of Carnivore Pure Beef Protein Icing. Beef builds muscle, and Carnivore is the world's #1 selling beef protein. Welcome to another edition of Legends of Iron. I'm Jon Andersen. With me always my partners in crime, Nick Best and Akim Williams. We have got a killer show for you today. This dude is straight up savage. When I think of this dude, I think like straight up Tasmanian devil, because when he's coming at you, you just want to get the hell out of his way. The most interesting thing about this guy, he's been in the game for 10 years, but at the age of 17, he actually won a world championship in powerlifting in the men's open. So when you talk about just a straight up bona fide badass motherfucker, Kevin Pitbull Torres, welcome to the show. What's going down, brother? How are you?
Thanks, Jon. Good, man.
Pitbull in the house. No, that's cool, dude. Man, it's great to have you here. 17.
Isn't that amazing? 17 years
Men's
old.
Open.
He knocks down a world champion going against the men. That's insane. Absolutely insane. You know?
Yeah, that's a very, very great accomplishment right there.
No shit.
Especially
so
at
on
that
that
age.
level, you're 17. What kind of numbers were you moving around? What were the lifts?
So like at that time, I wasn't even like doing powerlifting. I was just playing football, and I just doing football lifting, and that's when I met Chad Smith. One of my friends was training at his gym, and Chad goes, "Oh, who's the strongest kid at your school?" And he's like, "Oh, my buddy Kevin Torres." He's like, "Oh, how much does he weigh?" He's like, "He's only like 165." And then he's like, "Oh, what does he lift?" And then my buddy told him, he's like, "Bring him by my gym." So I went by Chad's gym, and I remember I had a really big front squat. Like my front squat when I was 17, I was like 165. I didn't even cut weight. I think I weighed around like 167. And I was already like front squat. My high school, we front squatted like way more than we back squatted. Our coach didn't like back squats because everybody would just go too heavy, like load their back. And mainly when you back squat, you shoot your hips back, but when you have the weight in front of you, you're going vertical down. You're in a more upright position. That's like you play football. You play football upright. You don't play football bent over. So we would front squat way more, and I was front squatting a 405 already at like 165. And Chad goes, he's like, "You're front squatting 405," and I was like, "Yeah." And my front squat was stronger than my back squat. Like I could do like 405 front squat, but I could only back squat like 365 just because it felt very weird when my like chest would go down. I felt weak.
You just weren't used to it.
Yeah, I was more used to it. And so he basically was all like, "Hey man, I'm gonna do a powerlifting competition in Ohio. It's about like 10 weeks away. I'll train you for 8 weeks. Basically like just do what I tell you to do, and I'll fly you out, all that stuff." And I was like, "Sure, man, just get me ready for football," because football was my first passion, and I didn't really care. Powerlifting wasn't even popular. Like I didn't even know what it was. He was just like, "Yeah, you bench squat and you deadlift. It's for your body weight." And I was like, "Sure, man, get my foot into the door, like getting some free training," because my parents never could afford some like sports training stuff. So I was like, "Dope, any type of free training I could get, I'll do it." So I did it, and it was honestly like the best decision of my life. Like it taught me a lot of things. It's like I met a lot of good people. It was a pro-am meet in Ohio. Like I remember I met Louis Simmons there. I met a lot of big people. Brian Carroll. I met Brandon Lilly. Who else I meet? A bunch of OGs were there, like Zane Geeting, a lot of the elite FTS people. But that was, I remember winning that. Like when so long story short, rewind. Chad goes, "You're squatting 405," and I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right, with the wraps and a belt, you're gonna squat 550 in 8 weeks." I was like, "You're tripping." Like, I never even had 550 like that. And he made me do a lot of SSB bar squats. I probably did that for like maybe like 4 or 5 weeks, and then I transitioned to straight bar. And I remember with the SSB bar, I was only maybe doing about like 365, 385 for reps. And then I remember going straight to a straight bar. He's like, all right, you're going to do 5 plates today. I'm going to wrap your knees. I was like, what? Like, I've never even had 5 plates on my back. Like, I was super nervous. But the SSB bar makes you strong, man. It teaches you, like, how to use the upper back, go straight down. So I remember, like, I think in training, the most I hit was 5. I hit like a 525 single pretty easy. And the day of the competition, I grinded out a nasty like 565. Like I used to be a dive bomb squatter with the wraps. You know, I would just trust the wraps, get my body tight, and I would just go straight down. And I squat high bar, man. Like, so when you squat high bar and you go all the way down, you're like for sure getting below parallel. So I remember I don't. I came up from that. It was a grinder, but that was the heaviest squat in the world.
You were a high bar 560, 570 something.
565.
Holy shit! High bar is a much more difficult squat.
Yeah, still this day I squat high bar. I never over to low bar.
There's a few guys that do that.
Yeah, I just feel stronger. I'm sure if I felt stronger low bar, I would switch. Like, why not? You know. And then even same for like, I remember when I first competed, I had 8 weeks. Chad was all like, hey, we don't do deadlifts in football. So I never had deadlifted ever. We just do power cleans and stuff like that. So he's like, you have 8 weeks to learn how to deadlift. Like, you don't have time to pick like sumo or conventional. He said, pick up the bar with 135 with your feet wide and then do it like with your feet normal. He's like, tell me what feels more natural. And he's like, they're both going to feel easy, but what feels more natural? And so sumo felt just more natural to me. And I've gotten my conventional up all the way to my sumo, and it just makes my sumo technique like a lot worse because I'm more like in a bent over position, and sumo you want to be more upright. So sumo just feels good on my body, like just the way I'm built.
Dude, your sumo, the way you set up in there at the bottom, you look real comfortable, you know?
Yeah, it feels comfortable. But when I do conventional, man, my lower back is like, it hates me. It feels like it's gonna be. It feels like a piece of glass for like 7 days.
Now, I hate to intrude, but I always feel. Don't take this the wrong way, but I always feel like guys that do sumo is like cheating.
A lot of people.
Right? Is that something you heard before?
Yeah, but it's like the same concept of like I used to be the same way. Like I'm old school, so like I'd be like I thought powerlifting was gay when people were, you know, wide grip, wearing the suits. Like I'm not about that. I'm all about having raw strength. So if you could pick up a weight with a wide ass stance, like man, that's hard to do. So I respect even with the wide bench, like same thing. I put my thumb on the knurling and I close it. I bench 455 like that. I don't even have my pinkies on the ring, and I still respect someone that benches really wide because I couldn't do that. Like that's just like I have no mobility to put my arms that wide. So I still respect it regardless. But to me, that shit just looks like when you have a really wide sumo, like when your toes are like damn near touching plates, it just doesn't look right.
But Kevin, the difference with you, brother, is that you can do it both ways. You know, that can only sumo. So you have a defense for someone that says, "Oh, you're a sumo." Well, motherfucker, I can do it both ways. So shut up. So shut up.
I always feel like when you do it conventional, it's along the pull versus sumo.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's a way longer pull. The only thing is like sumo just has more like I would say like technical difficulties. Like if your balance is off, it's throwing you forward, you're falling. Conventional, you can fucking grind that bitch up like no matter what. Like it could be nasty. You can hitch it. Like you can't hitch a fucking sumo deadlift. But people hitch
True. That's true. That's a good point, right?
The best way, like Louis Simmons says it, is like a lot of people that don't pull sumo end up hurting their back because you're just overworking your back on a conventional deadlift. Like if you got big, strong legs and you pull conventional, you're gonna, save your back a little bit more. But like sumo has built up my legs like a lot. Like I've always been a stronger squatter than a deadlift. Since I first started competing, like my first time I competed, I squatted 555 and I only deadlifted 500. It took me a long time to get my deadlift past my squat because the only thing that got my deadlift up was perfecting my sumo technique. I used to just gank on the bar, and then as soon as I learned how to pull the slack out, I remember my deadlift shot up like 55 pounds that training cycle. And that's why I tell everybody, man, like the only way I get stronger to this day is perfecting my technique and working on mobility and all that. That's the only way.
It's funny because your high bar squat, your high bar squat's going to complement the sumo. because you like being in that
because you're upright
position.
Yeah.
So it's the perfect combination for you.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely amazing because I mean, they're going to complement each other. When one improves, the other is going to improve, and that's all you're looking for is. And when you got them complementing each other like that, that's the good thing. Pulling heavy conventional, you only want to pull heavy conventional like once every 3 weeks. You can't pull heavy from the ground every week.
All the time.
Oh, your back
just gets your back, like what you said.
It takes. Oh yeah, I mean, even if you're training a heavy deadlift, 2 weeks, you don't know for sure if you're recovered at 2 week mark. You know, especially when you get to be a little older, like Nick and myself.
Right. That's like when I was younger, man, I had the mindset of like the more the better. Like that was I have the chip on my shoulder. Like no one outworked me. Like no one has done more training than I have, because especially Chad, man, he has like that old school Russian mentality, like adapt or die. So like I've done like his training was like high volume sets. I've squatted 500 for like 10 reps, back downs with like 455, 4 sets of 10, just hella volume. Like, you know, that's why I feel like I have such a good base. And I did a lot of bodybuilding stuff too. Even the funny thing is, I remember Chad said when I did a competition with him, he said, do not do any other training. Like just listen to me. And man, I was a kid. I was 17. I was going to LA Fitness after. I was doing bodybuilding. Like I trained. I was obsessed with it. I wanted to be the best. So like it was like the more work you do, the better. You get in what you put in. So like I was just doing the most. And honestly, it didn't even affect me because I was young and feeling good. But I remember like I tried it like maybe out of high school. And I remember going to the gym for like the second time, and my elbows would just be like, nope, like you're pushing it. So definitely like it's just a learning game. Like you said, I've been in this game for like 10 years. And as soon as you like feel like you know it all, that's just when you're going to stop like getting stronger and stuff like that. Because even for me, like I've only had two coaches to ever coach me. And I've been kind of on my own for the past like 3 years. And I kind of feel like, you know, my deadlift has gone up, my squat, you know, I'm kind of getting a little injury. My bench has been at a plateau for like a long time. So I was like, man, I need to like hire a coach. I need to like learn more. I know there's people out there that know more than me. And I like learning from people that are like in it. I'm not like a type of dude. Like if you know all the knowledge, I'm not going to trust you. You got to like live it and have the knowledge for me to like, you know, actually like listen to you. So I actually hired a coach like almost 3 months ago now. Almost 3 months is Joe Sullivan. He's got like the world record squat at 220. He's a freaking beast, and he knows a lot about like the neurological, just more like science behind it. You know,
we just had him on the show not too long ago, actually, Kevin.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, that's a good dude. So like, you know, just trying to learn from different people. And just right now I'm really focusing on like rebuilding my strength with a better technique. Because for me, when I got really strong when I was younger, but it was pure all brute strength and just like just brute. That's what I would say. That was it. I always tell people though, I always tell people that first competition I did, Louis Simmons went up to me, I think after I squatted 565, and he was like, hey, kid, like, you're a strong kid, man. We got to get you in a suit. And I was like, I had no idea who Louis Simmons was. And I legit told him, I said, that shit's gay. And he didn't say that. He just walked away. And I told Chad, I was like, hey, Chad, some old man told me I need to wear a suit. And then he was all like, wait, did he have tattoos? I'm like, yeah. He's like, bro, you just told like fucking the GOAT of like geared lifting, that shit's gay. Because like that's how my mindset was when that first came out. I was like, that's gay as hell. Like, I'm not gonna wear a suit to make me lift more. And I always tell people that because like, you know, he's a pretty intimidating person and shit. But I was a kid, I didn't know who he was.
That's a good story right there. That's a fucking good story. Holy
yeah.
So let's shift gears, brother. Talk us about one thing I love about you is you're young, you're a hustler, not only in your training and your lifts, but you took yourself from being broke to being financially free. That's a fucking great thing. Talk to us about your journey. I mean, I want to. I mean, there's so much information you could share. I mean, so our listeners are going to love to hear this.
So yeah, like I mean, a lot of people know me as I was part of Strength Cartel. I was like the start of that brand with me and Big Boy. I rep that brand like it was mine. He was a good friend of mine. I genuinely love lifting. He loved lifting too. Kind of come from the same background. So I was like, why not? Let's take it to the top. And like at that time, there wasn't really like, the fitness industry is really like, I would say like black and white. Like there was even not even too many Asians like really doing bodybuilding or powerlifting. And now you look at powerlifting, there's I feel like Asians are running that show right now. And what's it called? So like, yeah, basically I did that for a long time, and I just was building my name. A lot of these kids nowadays, they want to like start a brand or like, make something, but it's like, why are people going to follow you? Like there's a million good looking people. There's a million strong people in the world. Why are people going to like, buy your stuff or like tap into you or like relate to you? So at the end of the day, I've just always been myself. I've never like I just myself. I'm very genuine. I don't really like try really hard to like be someone I'm not. So it very comes easy to just do like the things I like to do, which is like basically like the passion I have for lifting. People could see that with just on my post and stuff like that. So that's basically like, it took a while. Like that, I said, the hardest part about probably building a brand, there's those 5-6 years that no one sees, and like no one really tells you to keep on pushing, keep grinding. Even my parents have been very supportive since I was playing sports, but they never told me to like go to the gym, Kevin. They'd be like, man, you want to ride to the gym? Like I feel like I was bugging my parents all the time. So but like, and now they see where I'm at and they're like, oh, now I understand. And like too, I always say like, you got to be selfish. I missed a lot of like family parties. I missed a lot of times hanging out with friends. Don't get me wrong. In high school, I partied, I drank and stuff like that. But I always was on top of my training. I never missed a training, especially after high school. I tell people I never went to I never went to a bar or got a sip of like alcohol till I was I don't get me wrong. Like I said, I partied when I was young, but like after high school, a lot of people go through a phase of like, they get 21, they're going to bars. I never like went to a bar in my own free time. So I was 25 until I had my own brand and actually was making a little money and wanted to like enjoy a little bit of some, free time. But you have to be like laser focused and like they say, like obsessed with your dream. And every day, like my mindset since I was little was like, how can I be a better football player? How can I be a better football player? So I was always just working out, doing any type of drills I knew, lifting. And once I became like a power lifter, I was like, how can I get stronger every day? It was like eat, sleep, train. So that was my mindset 24/7. That's all I really cared about until I got to the point I was like 25 and I'm like, man, I'm kind of still broke. I'm living at home with my mom and dad. Like I'm doing what I'm doing what I love. That's what they say, do what you love and you'll make a lot of money. You just got to find like your passion. I was like, I found my passion. I know what I love, but I'm like, I'm not making money. And I just had to realize like, I needed to do it for myself. Like, people are going to try to help you as much as they can, but no one's really going to give you like a handout. Like, here you go, like, go ahead and make money. Like they might show you the ropes, but like, no one's going to give you a handout. So it just really took me to like, and even no one ever told me to like, oh, like you can like, people kind of told me like, oh, you're going to make your own brand or like kind of do your own thing. But I was so like, no, like I want these world records. I wasn't really focusing on a business type thing. But like I said, it just really took me tired of being where I was at. Like I feel like everybody has to hit like a little like a rock bottom or a point of their life where they're truly unhappy, and you're either going to do something about it or you're going to dwell on it and be like, oh, poor me, like feel sorry for yourself. So I didn't feel sorry for myself, and I knew the next like action was to like start my own brand. And it was very scary because I didn't have anybody like pushing me. I kind of didn't really know like how to make a website, all this stuff. But like they say, you got to just do what you're scared of and just like take that leap of faith. And once I started my own brand, like I got a lot of support because like I said, a lot of people on Instagram right away, they start getting followers and they start like trying to sell stuff like a CBD thing, or like they're just pushing random stuff on the Instagram. Like I've never done that. Like I've had tons of people like, oh, we'll send you this, just to give us. I'm like, do I really use that though? Like I feel like I'm pretty credible. So like if anything I promote, people are really like, oh, like he's not this bullshitting trying to get a paycheck. Like he really uses that stuff. So I feel like when I did come on my brand, people really supported me because they just knew like I was a real person. So at the end of the day, it's just like be you, man. Be who you truly are, and it's like you can really like see through the fakeness of people and stuff like that, especially through social media. Like, shit, look at the Liver King. That fool fake the funk. So he was like, you know, like, till he got exposed. But like, man, that fool made millions of dollars. Like, that's insane. But it really shows that that's temporary. Like, if you're really who you are, it's gonna be like, it's gonna be easy for you. But if you're not, at night, it's gonna eat you up and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, you got to believe in yourself if you want to like do anything in this world. But it's hard because like even your own parents might not believe in you. Your best friends, like, you genuinely got to believe it in yourself. It's like the Muhammad, like, in his head, I'm the greatest, like, if he wasn't telling him that all the time, he would never be like the greatest. You know, he had to like really talk to himself like that.
So what would you say, you know, obviously, and the thing I love about you, brother, is you're young and you decided, you know, this is what I'm going to do. I know what I love and I'm going to do it. And then you learn to monetize it, which makes it that much better. So for those, you know, those people that are watching that are young, looking at you going, man, this young stud's got it, you know, give these people advice. What do you tell the youngsters to do to follow in your footsteps?
Definitely, like, first, like I said, like I feel like you need to like work really hard towards something before you almost start monetizing it. Because when I first started training, I wasn't recording nothing. Like, I was like, I'm sure you guys come from an era too. Like, people didn't go to the gym with their phones. Like, even for me, like, I have a business I'm posting on Instagram.
Dude, there was no phones when we were way back when.
Nope. No phones, no cameras, no videos. I'm really glad, because I really don't want to see some of the stuff I did or we had done when we were younger, because a lot of the stuff we did for fun, we couldn't do anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing to like document like your journey and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, it takes away your focus. Like, even if you just set up your camera or whatever, like it's just, you're not focusing enough on like your training. People don't. I get like, when I work out, I get like in a pissed off mood because I take it so serious. When I see people like in the gym, I hear like people talking or like laughing. I'm like, what the fuck they laughing at? Like, I feel like my testosterone just gets like very like high or something, because I take training serious. And I trained with like some old school cats when I was in like high school, like some 90s bodybuilders, and like, bro, they put me through the ringer, and like they really showed me how to train hard, like heavy, high reps, sets of 12, like on everything, no less than 6 reps, but still going heavy. And like, they were just like serious. So like, I've trained around serious people. So like, I take just training like very serious. So even for me, like when I have to create content, like I've never, this year, like I'm making it a goal of mine to like start recording and vlogging more, because I can't talk to myself on the camera. Like, I've been doing YouTube for a long time, but like I have to pay someone to like follow me around, because I just feel weird like talking to a camera. And like, but that's the way you do it. You got to engage with your audience, and like you have to just be natural. But it's like I just got to come over that fear of myself of like, all right, just talk to the camera type stuff. But like I said, my advice to all you like the younger kids is, first, just grind your ass off really hard. And then once you get to like, you feel like you're at a point, like maybe you want to do your first competition, record that. And then from then you'll get more. Like, the best thing too is like, you just have to make sure you're monetizing it too. Cause I remember when I was younger, like, I mean, I'm not that old. So like when I was in high school, YouTube was already getting big. I remember seeing a kid on like, I seen other people on YouTube that I was way stronger than, and like they have a big YouTube, and I'm like, man, like, why am I not posting my YouTube? But like, I didn't even know how to do that. Like, I didn't know anybody else that was doing YouTube and stuff like that. So like, if you are like pretty good with the computer, like you just got to start putting videos out there early, but don't get too sucked up in like, all right, I'm making videos for my fans. You got to do it for yourself first, and then you can start making videos for your fans. Because I feel like people get too like caught up in like, you know, oh, the fans are watching, I'm doing it for the fans. But like, even for like that powerlifting, me being the best in the world, I'm doing it for me. I'm not doing it to like make a brand, or like I'm generally doing it because it's my goal, and it's like what I want to do. It's not for like the other people, even though I know when I get to number 1, it's gonna make my sales go up, it's gonna make everything go up. But I'm still doing it just because that's what I want to do, not what the fans want to see. Because a lot of people, they'll be like, oh, should I do a bodybuilding show? Should I do a powerlifting? And they're like, oh, let my fans pick. And it's like, what do you really want to do, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I think the beginning is first, just figure out what you want to do, work really hard, and then start monetizing, because you want to start early with that. Like I wish I would have started more earlier with just like, making a little bit more videos of my training, but at least I have like old videos I could put up together. But it's definitely, you just can't be, obviously, like when I first started posting too, I felt like I was like almost nervous to post every day. Like, you can't be scared of like others, or like think people are going to get annoyed at me. It's just like, you got to post it, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when it comes down to it, you're doing something you love, and you're learning to make money doing it. If getting a little uncomfortable to post every day is part of the equation, well, Jesus Christ, it's better than going and getting a job, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I seen something online saying you're doing yourself a disservice if you're not posting your own stuff or your brand like daily, because it's for free. Like, you should be posting on all platforms at least once a day. Like, what is it going to do? Like, it's not going to hurt you. It's for free.
So, that's actually true, though. That's very true.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, like you said, it's free. It's free for you to put it out there. It's not going to hurt you at all.
Yeah, exactly. But we get caught up, like, do people really want to see that? Do they even care? It's like, bro, put it out there.
Listen, I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah.
When I first started out with like social media and Facebook and stuff like that, I used to make all these crazy videos with me squatting 8 plates, 9 plates, deadlifting 8 plates, 9 plates, and sure, people would like it. But guess what got the most views and most comments and everything like that? Me walking around Walmart looking at cereal. Yeah. So
what was it? What was it, Unc?
Walking around Walmart picking out cereal.
What kind of cereal getting?
I think in the video I was like picking out like Frosted Flakes and Raisin Bran or something like that. But goes to show you, what you think is important to you, it might not be important for somebody else.
Yeah, 100%. That's why I feel like now it's kind of hard for me to post on social media, because I've posted so much lifting stuff, so much content with technique. It's like, how much more can I post? Because especially now you get all these like influencers showing like weird little workouts, like this is how I get a big chest, like pinch the plates together, and I'm like, I ain't never done that. My chest is big as fuck. Like, I ain't never done that. So like, it's like a lot of this stuff is basic and boring, but people don't want to do the same thing every day. Like, they want to do some crazy workout that they see on Instagram, and that's why it's almost like, like the content you think that's gonna do good,
but that's why they're not successful.
The random content does great.
But that is why they're not you. That is why they're not successful, because it's the boring, mundane grind that you attack with the same enthusiasm as you did the first time you actually did it is what creates the champions in the long term. It's the grind, and it's not like, oh, I worked hard for a year. Oh, I worked hard for 2 years. It's I worked hard for a decade. It's the 10. In about 10 years, you should be getting pretty close to being world class in anything if you're going after it the way you're supposed to. But it's that long of a grind. There is no instant gratification when it comes to this stuff, and
that's why I said I think the most important thing is like you said, that for people that are looking to make money, is first you need, I think I saw Ice Cube say it on a podcast, like, you need to bust your ass or like do something for 5 years and not expect a paycheck. Because like when I was on like Strength Cartel, whatever, we were making hella money. I wasn't getting paid not nothing, like bare, like I don't want to say it, but it wasn't even $1,000 a month. And it's just like, like I wasn't mad. I was fucking living life. I was traveling, getting a lift at different gyms, going places, but like I wasn't like, I need money. Like, where's my more money? I deserve more. I was just like, I genuinely love lifting. I love training. Like, a lot of people would say like they like the competition. I love training. I love the process.
Yeah.
Like, I love that shit. Like being in an empty gym by yourself, or even with your boys, like cheering you on. I come from a football background, so like when your homies cheer you on, your teammates,
the
like
camaraderie.
I love that too. The camaraderie is great. But I'm also a very, like, I wrestle too. So I'm all about, like, I like being by myself. I love being alone, cutting weight. Like, I like doing hard things. There's something about doing something hard. Like, I like it. Like, it's just, I don't know, something.
Exactly. But
that's the Tasmanian devil right there, brother. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Just coming hard and fast, whether you like it or not. So talk to us about your dogs. You got some dogs that you're all up on. Talk to us about those dogs. You got some beautiful dogs.
Oh man, I got a black pit bull named Tyson, and I got a white pit bull named Snow. And I love dogs since I was a little kid. I grew up with Rottweilers, even just like random mutts. My uncle really liked dogs, and I even tell this just because like people talk a lot of shit on the pit bulls and stuff like that. And like my uncle, he used to fight them back in the 90s, and I never really knew that when I was younger. But like these dogs, like I would be in the cage with them, like with this fighting dog, and like he was the nicest pup ever. And it's just like, there's something about the love for a pit bull. They show different type of love until you have one of your own. You really know what type of dog they are and stuff like that. But I remember I got one in high school, and I didn't have time for it. Like I was always training. So until I got my own business, my own gym, I was like, I want to raise. That's why I don't have a kid too. I want to have like everything ready for like, my kid, and same thing for my dog. I wanted to have a dog and to have him used to my lifestyle. I don't want my dog to just stay at home. I take him to me with the gym. He got used to the loud noises. The gym is like his house. Like he like guards it, but it's cool to raise. I got him at 6 weeks, so I got to raise him in my environment. He goes on the car rides with me. He's like my right hand man, So just the bond we have is just I don't know, is different. That's like my little son. And then I had to get another one because like I felt like he was a little lonely. I'd be working on the computer. He's just like curled up in a ball. I'm like, I got to give him a little friend. So I got a little female for him, and it's honestly the coolest thing was to see their bond grow, like children and shit. But like it was cool because at first like he was like, "Hey, this is like my dad," like he didn't really like the other dog, and then eventually like their bond got together, stuff like that. But it's cool to see their bond and like just they're very protective and stuff like that. But I got like random strangers coming into my gym all the time, and they've never like tripped on somebody once. It's crazy. They can like feel the energy because sometimes they bark at you like they're gonna do something, but they're just like, oh hey, like I don't know you, or you walked up kind of weird or something like that. But yeah, they're like, I take them everywhere, man. Like I take them in my car. I take them everywhere.
Yeah, I actually have two right now as well, bro. I've got my big boy. He's about a 90-pounder Midas, and then I got him a little female. She's white also. And
awesome.
Same exact thing because he's 2 years older. Excuse me, he's 4 years older than her. And at very first, he was kind of like, "Wait a minute, I'm an only child. Who the hell is this?" And now they're straight up husband and wife, man. They're always licking each other and taking care of each other. But what you said, I cannot agree more. The love that they have and the loyalty that they have, I've never had a relationship with a dog like I've had with these dogs ever.
Yeah, the way they look at you is like
absolutely amazing.
They have these eyes where they look at you, and they're so loyal to you. You can hit them, you can spank them, and they'll come there. They love you no matter what you do. Like they're just such a good. That's why they say we don't deserve dogs. You could be so mean to them, and they'll still love you unconditionally. Especially when you get them as a puppy, like you're their dad. Like so they're like. They're looking for you for like any type of guidance. But yeah, I'm no dog trainer, nothing. My uncle, like he kind of showed me how he raised his dogs, but I don't even like they don't have leashes. I let them run around, no leash. I get out the car, they have no leash. They listen to me. I take them to the bathroom at my gym. Everyone gets all these wild pit bulls. But like they never run off. They listen to me. And it's a really good. It's cool, man. I just go to the park. I don't even have a leash for them. There's other dogs running around. I'd be like, sit, and they just sit there and they listen to me. And it's like it's just like it's a good feeling knowing like you have that control over that dog.
That's your mascot, brother. That's your mascot.
You dips for your dog?
Yeah.
You do.
That was probably. When I first started lifting, my dad's neighbor gave us like one of those things that has like you can do like abs on it, like you put your shoulders in it, and it has a little dip, and then it was like a Gold's Gym thing, and it had a pull-up bar up top. I had that in my backyard, and bro, I used to go so ham on that thing. Like, I feel like that's why my shoulders and my chest are so, my front delt and my pecs are big, because I used to do so much dips, just sets of body weight 20, and then I started putting weights in between my feet. And I'll never forget, I had I didn't have any mirrors in my backyard, but I'd use the reflection of like my mom's window. I remember seeing a little vein in that shoulder pop out. Like, oh, it's coming. I've never been like a vascular dude, you know, like eating Mexican food all day. Like that's just like a bunch of carbs and freaking fat, tortillas, beans. So like I never was like a lean person, like ever. I always wanted to be. I always wanted to be like Jon.
I got something to ask you though. All right, there's a pretty popular bodybuilder. I remember back, I think it was at LA Fit Expo, or was it the Arnold Classic? You guys got into a little competition with a popular bodybuilder that pretty much walked around and act like he lifted a whole bunch of weight. Brad Castleberry.
Oh, the Brad Castleberry thing.
Talk to us a little bit about that, because I know you guys kind of called him out, because a lot of people are saying he was lifting fake weights and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so I was curious to talk about that.
That was more like a personal thing. Like Big Boy actually knew him, and one of the other guys on the team knew who he was. They used to work out with him, and it was kind of like a little more personal thing, because like I guess Big Boy worked out with him one time, and he like didn't like Big Boy because Big Boy was lifting more weight than him. That guy just has an ego, bro. Okay. Ego.
So what's the backstory to it?
Like, I always say like people think he lifted fake weights. It was just like he just would get spotted. Like, you know, like say you bench, I don't know, if I say you bench 500 pounds, you put 675 on there. If I keep both my hands on there, as long as you're pressing as hard as you can easily bench 675. Gotcha. But like I just have to keep on pushing up as you're pulling. You know, when someone's spotting, all it takes is like a finger, and you're like, "Oh, you did it, bro! I just used my finger." So like he would just do a lot of assisted lifts, you know. But he wasn't lifting no fake weights, bro. Like he's kind of not all there, you know. Like the meatheads, they kind of not all there. So, but yeah, that was that little thing. It's very rare to find a big jack person that's pretty smart.
Gotcha.
For real. You gotta have the street smart and you gotta have the book smart.
Gotcha.
I think he changed a lot though, because he doesn't say anything about doing world records anymore.
Yeah,
and he just kind of does his own thing, and he's taking care of his son now too, isn't he? So yeah, I think he's more focused on being a good dad.
That's good. That's what you should be.
Yeah,
like after you have a kid, it's about your kids, not you no more. You know.
No, for sure.
I mean, if you can use lifting weights, to earn a living, to take care of family, more fucking power to you. That's beautiful. And the fact that he was able to do that, and he took a lot of heat for sure, you know, but I think you're right, Kevin. I don't think he was using fake weights. He was just having a lot of assistance in some of those big lifts.
Oh yeah. He was just having a lot of assistance and stuff like that. And like, that's where it's like, if he would have stepped on the platform, he would have put up some pretty good numbers. You know, would have not been like what he's doing at 24. But that's where it's like you have to be, like they say, vulnerable. You have to be okay with like not being the best. Like you have to put yourself out there. Like there's really no other way you're gonna get like judged and stuff like that. So that's what I think the homies were just trying to get him, like, step on the platform. Like, let's see what you can really do. And he like, oh, like I lift at 24. We're like, no, bro, the platform, like with refs and stuff. So. Like I think that we just kind of wanted him to like see what he'd really do in a competition. But yeah, like you said, he's more just like I said, just like a gym lifter, stuff like that.
Yeah. So brother, can you hear me now when I could actually ask a question now that my shit's back? Jesus. Now I won't touch a goddamn thing. Hopefully I'll stay here. Anyway. So I've seen some of your posts on social media, dude. Tell us about this crazy freaking massively fast car that you've got.
Oh yeah, my Cadillac, my Cadillac V series. So I grew up.
What the hell did you do to that thing? It looks like you got some sort of like you hear it revving and it's like doesn't sound like it's a normal motor.
It's because the thing comes stock supercharged. Yeah. So I just had to port the blower. I know a lot about cars, so I know people that work on them for pretty cheap and stuff like that, because cars are expensive. It's like the labor you pay to get
you're preaching to the choir over here, man.
It's expensive. So my very first car I ever bought was a 92 Mustang what's it called? 92 Mustang. That was my first car. $4,000. I bought it all by myself when I worked $8 an hour working some warehouse job. And bro, that was my pride and joy. Like every paycheck went to that car. I did everything. That was my first like build. I did the inside, everything, brakes. It's an older car, so you basically got to replace everything.
Was it a Fox body?
Yeah, Fox body,
okay.
a notchback.
Okay. I had an 89 also.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so that was my pride and joy too. Yeah.
Car from the ground up, and when I was broke, I put everything into that car, man. Like I ended up building the motor, put a new transmission, everything, suspension, and then I still have that car, still too. But once I got my brand, I've always wanted a Cadillac, like a 4-door car. Like I already have my little 2-door car, so I was like, I want a 4-door car, and I had my little Honda Civic I was driving around, and I fucking crashed that thing, falling asleep behind the wheel. That was scary. I've never fallen asleep like ever. Like I was getting a tattoo late at night at my friend's house, and I was coming back home. I felt fine. Next thing I know, I'm like, honestly, I just remember someone knocking on my window and being like, you sure you don't want to call the ambulance? And I remember being like, I'm okay. Like the ambulance costs money. I'm okay. Like that was my first thing going through my head. Like, you're okay, Kevin. And so yeah, I totaled my little Civic, and I got like I remember I got like $7,000 for that little car, and I was like, man, that's a good little down payment. Let me get something I actually like. And so, like I don't really I'm not a jewelry person. I don't wear like, designer stuff. I don't got no Rolex. I don't flash my money. The one thing I do spend money on though, and like my hobbies is cars, bro. Like, and it's not like the outside appearance. It's the inside. I like I said, I put a cam in that, and the car came with 650 horsepower and 650 torque stock. Now it's making
a Cadillac.
Yeah,
came with this.
Is it a black series you got?
No, the Black Wing's the new one. It's a V. It's the last year of the V
for the V series. Okay, gotcha.
Basically, my car is a Z06 Corvette, but just in a Cadillac. It has the same suspension. The Z06. It's called a magnetic ride, and the exact same engine.
That's the same thing I have in my Vet right now.
You have a
same setup. I have a C8. A C8, C8 Corvette. Came with a magnetic ride and everything like that. The Z51.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm gonna keep this car as a daily drive. Like I'm not gonna do too much to it. I'm gonna put some exhaust. And so man, I did the exhaust, and then my buddy like beat me with one of his faster cars. I was like, oh, that's it. I'm going all out. So it's 900 horsepower to the motor, but I got it dynoed, and it's 820 to the wheels.
Wow. Oh, that's freaking impressive, man.
It's very I get a lot of people over here with McLarens and Lambos, and they think their car's fast, and I beat them
you'll spank them, yeah.
I beat them with a 4-door car with my dogs in the back, and they're like, "What's in that thing?"
Yeah, you definitely spanked them.
I don't like having stuff that like other people got, like everybody has like a Ford Raptor. There's a million Hellcats. So that's why I like building stuff, because when you build it, it's more like it's all you. Like you know what you did to it. It's like your body. Like you know what you did to it. You know what it could do. So cars are definitely like my hobby, and that's what I want to start getting better of, is posting more content with the cars on my YouTube, because I do a lot of stuff, but like I'm like an in the moment person. That's why I was saying I don't really like vlogging, because I like living in the moment, bro. I don't like, oh wait, hold on, here's my camera. But you need to start doing that more, because that's what this world is coming to. Like I saw some posts on Instagram, and it was like, man, what this generation is doomed. And it was a bunch of 3rd graders playing basketball, and they're like celebrating, dancing, and it's like, bro, like you're in 3rd grade, like just play basketball. Like, why do you need to be showboating at the age of freaking 10? Just stuff like that. It's crazy.
Isn't that the truth? So how much did you sink into that car? It was already a badass when you got it. You put a lot of time and energy into that car to get it to where it is now, yeah?
Oh yeah. It takes time too. You can have all the money in the world, but like once you you put stuff together, all this stuff, there's so much like complications. Like it's like a human body. You can't just like, all right, let me just like I don't know, like build up my legs. You need to build up your back. You can't just squat big weight if you don't have a strong back. You got to have strong legs. So like that's with the car stuff too. You can't just scoop up one.
Totally. So like you get that motor, you get that motor so big, the transmission did you blow the transmission out of that thing when you put that much more power in the motor?
Oh jeez.
Yeah, I blew my trans. I took it to the racetrack, and I did like 5-6 passes at the local racetrack, and then I was driving the car home, and I like kind of punched it on the freeway, and my RPMs just shot up. I'm like, damn, my transmission's slipping. So now I got a built transmission on that car, and that was pricey too. That was like $7,000 built transmission.
Yeah, it could become very expensive real fast.
Yeah, but that's. A lot of people, they don't like, I'm going to keep this car forever. Same with my Mustang. A lot of people, they lease cars or, they fix it up a little bit and then they get rid of it. Like, I'm the type of person, when I like something, I keep it. Like, I get attached to it. So, that car is definitely like, I have an attachment like to it. I love my Mustang. Like, that was my first car, but I'm really surprised how much I like my Cadillac. I just think because it's an automatic, it's comfortable. It's got all the luxury stuff you need, and it's just like my Mustang it's a 1992, so like you're going fast. You got the wind coming in, the Cadillac. I like that Cadillac stock was the first Cadillac to go 200 miles per hour in Germany, and that's stock.
No shit.
So like now that I have that power, I could go way over 200. But like, when are you gonna find that? You're never gonna find the opportunity. Like. You're gonna be.
So is that with or without the traction control?
You got to be like a lot of the YouTubers and post the location out in Mexico.
I've been doing that Mexico freeway race all the time.
Oh yeah.
In SoCal, the racing scene's big out here, man. Like, since I was little, since I was younger, like first had Instagram, I've always followed like the LA street racing scene is like really popular and stuff like that. So there's like a bunch of people. It's just like fitness. You know how we have like our own little world everybody kind of knows. That's just the way the car game is too. It's just like people are known for like what they do in the streets and all that stuff. But it's dangerous, man. You gotta be like you see all these people dying in like cars and even like
dude, this is a great topic, dude. Give us a story about street racing. This is a great topic. This is not a topic we've had a lot of talk of the show. This is perfect.
Yeah. Shit, I mean, like I've done like the best, like we do it like kind of, I would say like on the freeways is the easiest way. Some people do it like, like in LA they have a famous street. It's called the 135th in Maine. It's in Compton, and it legit looks like a drag strip. Like there's like a light, like a red light, the normal light, and the like the two lanes are just like black from so much like burning rubber and stuff like that. But
yeah,
so like in LA there's so much going on. Like they're the last thing they're worried about is like cracking down on a drag race. There's like real crime going on over there, so a bit more lenient over there and stuff like that. But yeah, California is kind of sucks that's the only thing about Cali is like the cops out here are very strict with like emissions and like the sound. You go anywhere else, it's like they're not really tripping, but out here it's about the money. They want to get that money, so you gotta be careful and stuff like that. But it's all like on you. It's like if you're asking for it. If you're over revving your car, you're driving, freaking flooring it every light to light. Like for the most part, I drive pretty calmly until like I want to race or if someone wants to try me or like play around. But for the most part, it's like there's no point. Like I don't even drive my car during the week because it's like there's traffic. Where am I gonna go? Like I'm having this sick ass car and I'm sitting in traffic. Like I'm a very humble person. My other car is a 1997 Nissan Sentra that's got like 300,000 miles.
That's a daily.
Yeah, like people will think I'm playing. They're like, "That's your car?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like even like guys will be like, "You pick up chicks in that car?" I'm like, "Yeah, bro. If the girl don't like me for my fucking who I am, like fuck her. Like what the hell? Like it's just a car. A car is meant to get you to point A to point B. But like I do have my nicer car when I want to drive it. But I feel like that keeps me like grounded, and like when I do get in my nice car, I'm like, damn, this feels good because my 97 Sentra, like I feel every bump on that car.
So earlier you talked about Lambos and whatnot. You smoking some Lambos. Is this like in a street race scenario? Like is this like you just seeing someone in the freeway just saying, hey, let's go, and everybody hits the throttle and off you go? Or is it more of like a setup type of a thing ahead of time? Or is it just kind of finding somebody on the road?
I mean, sometimes it's random. You find people on the road, but like that's not like, I would say, legit races. You know, they might have taken off before or something like that. So, but yeah, we normally meet up and like, you know, we'll do the best way. People do like a lot of rolls from like 50 to like 160. They'll race like that. So they'll do like 3 honks on the freeway or something like that, and you go on the 3rd honk. But yeah, and like now everyone's got cameras, so it's like it's so easy to see who wins. They put a GoPro in your car, and man, people bet for a lot of money. People bet for a lot of money out here. Like there's street races that go on for like 10 grand, like 15 grand, like, and you're like, damn, like, because what it is, it's like there's little crews. So like, you know, they're like, hey, I know my homie will win. Like I'm gonna put $100, $1,000, and the money just keeps on adding up. So like sometimes you'll get a pot of like, you know, 10, 15 grand, and people are racing for that much money. So it's crazy.
That's great. What's the biggest purse you've been racing for?
John,
I'm not much of a bettor, dog. I'm scared.
No.
Honestly, like it comes down to is like how deep are your pockets on how fast your car can really go. Honestly, like it's not like lifting. You can't just take steroids and be like, I'm gonna take the most gear, like $10,000 Nope, that shit won't happen.
Well, I was gonna say, brother, with the car you got, you could probably make a lot of money if you wanted to with the car you got. You know?
Yeah. But that's the thing too. In the street racing scene, a lot of people are scandalous. They want like those easy wins. So like, I put my numbers on like YouTube, Instagram, how much my car makes, but a lot of people lie. Like they hide it. They don't want to show the hood. You meet up, they're like, no, I'm not popping my hood. So you really don't know what they got in their car. So like everyone's kind of like trying to like, you know, kind of like lie about it. And especially with social media and like friends, you know what they really got or like what they can do. So it's kind of like a gamble anytime you race somebody, you know. You don't really know unless you know the car a lot. So it's a lot of knowledge and stuff.
Well, I remember when I was a kid and I would race, just the fucking excite. There was no money involved. Just the excitement of racing, period, was fucking exciting. Now I can only imagine if there's a bunch of money on the line.
Oh yeah,
that must be totally intense.
For lifting, I'm a very calm lifter. I've never been like, I gotta get fucking crazy because I have to focus on my technique. Like I've never been like, even when I see people like all like on a sick one, like I don't like, I don't get me wrong, like I've taken like, you know, steroids and stuff. I'm like, bro, how much are these people taking? Because they're just like fucking like amped up, like ready to freaking kill someone. Like I'm a calm lifter because I'm just thinking about my technique. But when I race, I have the most adrenaline I've ever had in my life. Like my heart and my hands are just like, I can't even talk. I'm stuttering. My teeth legit like grind. Like they're just clicking together, and that's crazy because like there's no other
mouthpiece, right?
Yeah, that's why I need a mouthpiece. I start mouthpiece.
The professional drag racers wear mouthpieces so they don't grind their teeth out.
Do they really?
Yeah, I once we had the races here, and it was right after I did World's Strongest Man the first time, and Tony Schumacher, you know, the U.S. Army top fuel dragster. He watches World's Strongest Man, and he recognizes me looking at his car as I'm walking by the thing, and he's like, "Hey, come on in here!" And I come in there, and we're like sitting there talking. He takes me down to the start line when he goes, tells me to stand by like over by the tree, and then punches the hammer when he's in the car racing. He ended up qualifying fourth that day, and I couldn't see. But I'm watching him. I'm in the Cadillac riding to the start line with him. And he's putting his Hans device on. He's putting his mouthpiece in. I'm like, a mouthpiece? He goes, oh, yeah, dude, you'll grind your teeth to dust in 1/4 mile without these things. The vibration of that thing.
I'm about to get a mouthpiece.
I couldn't see anything until they shut the motors down at the other side of the track. I mean, it's just blur and just loud noise. I mean, and it was just as loud even at the other end of the track when they shut it off. It was crazy. Dang, just absolutely crazy. So, yeah, they wear a mouthpiece, dude.
Damn, I need to start doing that. I'll be intimidating everybody.
Kevin, I so know what you're talking about, brother. I mean, I was talking, it's like so fucking exciting. You're like trembling, you know?
Yeah.
And I was just racing my fucking family sedan for Christ's sake, you know?
Yeah. The Porsche.
No. When I'm talking about when I was a kid, not as an adult.
Okay.
I'm well beyond racing now, but as a kid, I mean, it's like, of course, you find someone you're talking in the hallways. Oh yeah, my car can beat your car, and they're just fucking, they're your parents' cars, but it's just the excitement of running head to head with that race. So I can now put a bunch of money on it. I can totally imagine how exciting that would be. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's like you're gonna fight. Like you have that same adrenaline, like fight or
flight. Yeah.
About to go down.
Well, I can see why that would be addicting as hell, and why the culture is so deep. People must love that shit.
Yeah, and like I feel like I don't know if it's my age, but like my dad grew up on street racing too, so like he would always tell me stories and stuff like that. So I always used to go be in a fast car with my dad. But like my dad's like 55 now, and I'd be like, "Damn, Dad, you're old because that fool be going hella slow now. He's not about going fast." I feel like it's like a young thing, But also, there's a lot of older people that like still do the street racing. They're like 50, 60 years old, and they just love it. So I feel like it's in your blood, bro. Like you to get over it, like, all right, like I'm kind of like I want to chill out a little bit. But I see all kinds of old people. Like the guy that tunes my car, he's like 57 and he goes to all the street races. He's one of the most well-known tuners around the world. His name's Tom, and like everybody knows him. He's just like an OG. So
yeah, I know what you mean. Like I'm in that place now where if I'm driving one of my fast cars and I hit the pedal and I zip it up to 100 real quick, I get up there and I'm all fucking twigged out. I'm like, no, I just want to relax,
Next time, if you guys ever come to California, I got to take you for a ride, dog. That's it. Well, I'll fit all you guys.
Oh,
That's the thing about it. That's the best
thing.
For
sure. Yeah. Well, I'm only about 2 hours to the east of you, brother. I'm in the desert.
Okay. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Good.
Yeah, I would love to check out your. See, those videos are crazy.
The very first day I got the car from the dealership, I told all my to get in there, and we did donuts in the parking lot.
Oh, fun!
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
Yeah, all the mods I did. Normally, you lose a lot of like miles per gallon on your gas, right? And these new engines, the technology is crazy. Like, I still get 22 miles per gallon on that car.
Really?
And it makes 820 horsepower. Shit. Yeah, I can make it in Vegas one tank.
Damn.
Yeah. So it's cool. You see, when I'm punching it, I'm probably getting like 3 miles per gallon. But if I'm cruising, because it's got 8-speed automatic, it's like fucking not even at 2,000 RPM, and I'm just cruising on the freeway.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
Nice.
My Mini's got 300 horsepower. For a little Mini Cooper for a 4-wheel, because I got a Clubman, and so it's 4-wheel drive, and it's a Mini. It's got 300 horsepower. That thing, I've had that thing up over 160. It's fun. Man, is it fun? Cool.
What is it? A Dodge minivan?
What's that?
What kind of minivan is it?
I have a Mini Cooper.
Mini Cooper.
I have a Clubman Mini Cooper. Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot of horsepower for a light car. That's another thing. A lot of people race me, and I'm like, hey, fool, my car is heavy. Your car weighs like 2,000 pounds. My car is like 4,200 pounds, So a lot of people will try to get you on that, So you got to be like smart on how much your car weighs, because you can make way less power, but and then the more power you make, it's harder to hook up. Like your car wants to spin the tire. Yeah. So you have to like I have a whole set of like wheels I change out to when I drag race, because like my stock rims are like a 19-inch rim, and then in the back I go to a 17-inch rim. So you have like the fatter sidewall you have on the tire. When the car rotates, it's gonna grab the cement. But if you got like a little skinny profile tire, it's gonna just spin on the pavement. So that's why you saw on those dragster cars, they have like a little 15-inch rim, but the tire is like super big. And it honestly wrinkles, like the tire wrinkles when you punch it. So it like it's like gripping the ground.
Yeah.
Is your car all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive?
Rear-wheel drive.
Oh, okay.
Nice. Yeah. Well, this is it. We've never had a discussion about cars on the show, so this was the first one. This was cool.
That's dope.
This is actually. what I was doing when I was checking out some stuff to talk to you about, I saw some of those videos about the car, and I could hear the sound of that motor, and I could actually, now that you talk about getting excited, I could kind of see that in your face, like you're kind of getting like you got the pretty intense look when you were gunning it, you know.
Yeah, someone's like, you look scared. I'll be like, you would be scared too.
You're sitting in a rocket, yeah.
I love it. That's awesome. Good shit, brother. So for a young dude, you've accomplished a lot, brother. It's really cool. I mean, especially the fact that you're making a living with what you love, which is, I mean, what else can a guy want? You're still 28 years old. You're just getting started, you know? But if you had the chance to go back and give yourself a piece of advice, so you could take who you are right now, go back in your own timeline, in your own life, to give yourself one piece of advice, how far back would you go and what would you say to yourself?
I would probably go back to like at least, young. I feel like I was like, I don't know, like one thing I kind of like don't really, I mean, yeah, I guess I would say regret is like the whole schooling thing. I was never good with school. Like I never really tried. I feel like it was just like me being like, I just want to play football. Like I don't really care. Like I never tried really hard in school, and I always wanted to play like Division I football. Like I wanted to go play college football, even if it was D2, but obviously D1 was the goal. And I had that mindset, like, you know, I was like old school, like I'm gonna be so good, I'm gonna get a scholarship no matter what. Like even if I got bad grades, they're gonna give me a tutor, because that's what they would do, like to athletes. Like, you know, it's cracked down a lot way more, but like if you just had a 2.0, they get you a tutor, they do their homework for you, you know, like during the Reggie Bush days, there's all kinds of scandals going on. So like that was my mindset. And it kind of like really, it took me probably like, I don't know, it took me like at least a couple of years to like get over like I wasn't gonna play football again, because like I played football from when I was 7 to 18. So as soon as I stopped playing football, it's like, you know, a lot of people, I'm gonna be a free agent, or they just keep on like trying and trying and trying. You're like, bro, you're damn near 30. Like, what are you doing with your life? Like, you know. So it was a really hard mentally to be like, all right, I'm done playing football. But I think like I said, if I would go back, like I never wasted time training. I never like you know, jerked off or never like played around. I took my training serious since I started, which was like, I would say like serious was probably 17. But during freshman year, I had a little gym backyard. I was training. So I never feel like, I wish I would have started earlier. The only thing I wish I would have do is pay attention more in school, and just kind of just like wish I would have gone to college, because a lot of friends went to college and they lived the college life and they got to do all the fun things, is go to games and, you know, just be a little kid a little bit longer. I feel like I had to grow up really fast as soon as I got out of high school. I worked a $8 job hour doing warehouse, and all my friends were going to nice colleges. And I was like, man, like this kind of sucks. I'm over here in a warehouse, no one's seeing me, and I'm working $8 an hour. But like I also said, I feel like you don't want to ever go back in time, because like things happen for a reason. Like I did that $8 job an hour. I was doing warehouse fulfillment. Like, you know, I worked at a makeup company, and I was putting like little, like, you know, putting all these orders together, putting them in a box, shipping them out. And I was like, I'm never gonna do this like in my life. Like I don't want to do this forever. But like now when I run my like when I ship out, when I started my business, I know how to do the fulfillment side. And that's like a really big part of like a business is fulfillment, and being able to get the orders out to people on time. And so when I did start my business, I was like, bro, I already know how to do this. Like, you know, and it was cool because first I was doing $8 an hour. Now I'm doing it for myself. So like it just feels so much. Like when you're busting, I still ship out all my orders by myself. I've had my clothing brand for 3 years. I make my own boxes. I do everything. So it's like a good feeling, because like if I didn't have that, I'd be like, fuck this. This is what like broke people do, or like this is what people that like, you know, this is not my job. Like they feel entitled. Like even just like, you know, just washing a car or like stuff like that. That's not my job. Like I still wash my own car if I have the time to, you know, stuff like that. I pay a lot of people to wash my car because I'm really busy, but for the most part, like on my orders, I do all my own fulfillment, and it feels good to like do it because it makes me feel in tune with the brand. I see people's names, who orders it, what city it's going to, what state it's going to. So I feel very like connected with my brand because I'm not just paying someone to ship out the orders. Like I'm doing it myself, and I don't mind doing it. It's easy for me. Like I'm not gonna pay someone to do it because I've done it before. So like to have someone else do it, I'll be like, I don't. That's kind of like a waste of money to me. I see it as.
Also save yourself
Dude,
some money.
That's pretty wise, brother. The fact that you started, you're connecting the dots that you were doing that warehouse job, that $8 an hour that sucked at the time, but looking back, you could see exactly why it happened, brother. That's really cool.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
That's really cool. That's really cool, brother. Right on. Well, I got one more question for you, and hopefully my connection will stay true so we can actually finish strong here. So. Like I said, you're young, 28 years old, and you're just getting started, brother. I mean, you've done a lot with your brand. You've done a lot with your lifting. You're affecting people positively. When all this is over, what does Pitbull Torres want to be remembered for?
I just want to be remembered for, like, I would say, like, my hard work, like just me working hard, like for anything. Cause I didn't have no, like I say, like super gifted strength. Like, yeah, I was strong when I was young, but like I said, I started my workout, I would say, like a little journey when by myself in my room in the 5th grade. I started doing push-ups and sit-ups. I played football. I sucked at football. I was the smallest kid. I'm still one of the smallest people everywhere I go. Like, and I wasn't good. Like, I legit was not good. And it took me like 3 years to get good at football. And I remember being like, what can I do to get better at football? And I was like, I need to be stronger. So I just started doing push-ups, and my parents didn't tell me to do push-ups. Like, no one ever told me to do push-ups. And I just started I did it myself. And then as soon as I touched a barbell, I remember my friend was a year older than me, and he was only able to bench press, like, I think 105. And he was like older than me. He was a little bit bigger than me, and I was smaller than him. I was like 20, and I benched 135 my very first time ever benching. And like everyone's like, oh, you're really strong, but it's just like I was doing push-ups before. So as soon as I touched that barbell, it was kind of like the same thing, you know. So I did that, like, you know, like at a really like young age. But I think, like I said, just to be known, I always tell people, like people ask me the kind of like the same question at the end of the day. Oh, we lost John.
We lost him.
Just keep going.
Yeah,
He'll come back on.
I say when I die, I want to be remembered and to be like kind of like the Achilles. You guys ever seen the movie Troy?
Yep.
When he goes fights that big warrior, when he goes fights that big warrior in the movie Troy, that kid comes and goes, I wouldn't want to fight that guy, and then the Troy goes, that's why you'll never be remembered.
Yeah,
and like,
one of the
so
famous scenes in there. Yeah.
Always want to do the things people don't want to do. I obviously, you know, like I said, I like doing the hard things. I enjoy doing the hard things. So I want to. I'm still not number one in the world at 181, and I still have goals for myself. So like, I want to just be number one in the world, because I feel like once you're number one in anything, that's when people are gonna remember you. And like, that's my mindset is when I die, I want to be remembered forever. And that's like, you got to set records. You got to put your name on the paper. Just kind of like, well, people will look back on Ed Cohen, and you know, and all these people setting the bars higher, like a John Hack. They're gonna always remember, like, that fool was like. They're going to always remember him because his name's on paper, you know. But if you're not putting yourself out there, or being number one at your sport, or like whatever you want to be, no one's really going to remember you, you know, because there's a lot of good athletes in the world, but it's really hard to make a really big impact, you know. So you got to do what's like almost never been done, like a Tom Brady, how long he's been playing in the NFL. People are always remember Tom for that. Brett Favre was my favorite quarterback growing up. He played like the most consecutive games. So like, that's something he's going to be remembered as. So for me, at the end of the day, I just want to be remembered as like I said, a savage, someone that's just been grinding their ass off, like someone that just works hard.
Well, brother, I would say at this point, all you got to do is keep doing what you're doing, because anybody that's got two eyes can see you're doing exactly that, my brother. You know, you're like I said, you're like a Tasmanian devil, man. You're coming hard and fast, and people better get the hell out of your way. You know. So,
when's your next
brother,
meet?
we really appreciate. Yeah, good question.
I want to get ready. I'm getting ready for the American Pro in October, kind of keeping it low key. I've been training for like 3 months, so just slowly making my way back up in there. But yeah, I haven't done any big meets since like the Kern, like anything really, really big. So I want to, like, when I come back on the platform, I want people to really know, like, I've been working.
Right on.
Well, brother, I got to tell you, it's been a pleasure to have you on the show. And the beautiful part is you're just getting going, man. You're 28 years old. You're one of these guys we could have on the show multiple times because you're just growing into your greatness, brother. So I got to tell you, it was a lot of fun having you on the show. Nick, do you guys get anything for Kevin before we bust out of here?
Nah, man, I enjoyed the whole story about the cars and because I'm also into cars and everything like that. So
yeah,
definitely, I'm a fan right now. The fact that you're into cars and everything like that. So keep doing what you're doing, and you have nothing but the sky's the limit for you, man.
Appreciate that.
And I enjoy watching you compete. Can't wait to compete with you again at some point fairly soon. It's going to be a little while. Probably September will be my return to the platform. So,
okay.
But I will.
Hell yeah, me and Nick got to share. I think that's the coolest thing about powerlifting is getting to share the platform with like just the people that have been in the game for a long time. Because like if you're like a bodybuilder, you got to get a little pro card, you got to do that. But if you're strong, motherfucker, you're strong. Like you're invited to the meet, so it's like that's it. And, like, get with like Nick, I've got to share the platform with freaking who's that one really Scott Mendelson, Brandon Lilly. Who else? Like just the Stan Efferding when he broke the 275 record. Dan Green. Like fuck, I've competed with the best of the best in the world, man, and it's really cool to say that because not too many people can say that, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. It's just it's the beginning, man. It's just the tip of the iceberg for you, brother. Just getting started. That's it. Well, there you have it, everyone. There's another edition of Legends of Iron. I guarantee you, our man Pitbull Torres had some things to say. They're going to get you motivated to be the best version of you because that's what we're all about. Here to help you see your own potential and be the best version of yourself. Thank you for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time. Legends of Iron is brought to you by MuscleMeds.
Eating like a bodybuilder is not cheap. I mean, have you seen the recent cost of steaks lately? Thankfully, I'm able to get all my meals in and hit my macros for just a fraction of the price with Carnivore Lean Meal, MuscleMeds' newest innovative whole food meal replacement.
Compare Carnivore Lean Meal to a typical bodybuilding meal. Carnivore Lean Meal stacks up in protein and carbs with none of the fat, but a carnivore shake is only about $3 per meal.
Get my 6 meal in. This is what I use right here. This is meal number 6. It's my Carnivore Lean Meal. It's a combination of carbs combined with protein. It's actually made from real sweet potatoes and white potatoes. So can't beat that. Tastes awesome. Love that product.
And to top it all off, guys, it's lactose free and sugar free. Stop overpaying for your meals and eat clean with Carnivore Lean Meal. It's better than any meal you can cook yourself at a fraction of the price.